Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another day in the crypto bull run. Things are looking really amazing, and we just saw a new Ripple article here. Ripple Labs obtains patent for on-demand liquidity in the US. This sounds really interesting, right? Well, we'll talk about that today. Plus, of course, we got a lot more important crypto news to cover. So make sure you press the like button if you want to help out for the YouTube algorithm. And put down below if you've actually bought any crypto in the last week, because I think you would be up, right? Or yeah, I think most cryptos would be up for. Having said that, Ripple Labs Inc. received the patent for on-demand liquidity from the US Patent and Trademark Office on January 26th. The patent relates to foreign exchange and cross-border payments. So they filed for this, or applied for this, all the way back December 2019. The 19th of it. That's when they applied for this patent for ODL, and now it was granted a couple of days ago, a couple weeks ago, on January 26th. The patent number 10,902,416, application number 16/797,442, was granted by the Patent Office for a network computing system implementing on-demand liquidity for cross-medium transaction services. The grantee listed for this patent is Ripple Labs Inc., and the invention is attributed to Warren Paul Anderson, Dottie Armanson, Jesse Browner, Gunnar Christiansen, Connor McNamara, Jana David, and the abstract of the U.S. patent application describes a computing system can facilitate cross-medium transactions through use of a digital currency. The computing system can provide a guaranteed exchange rate and manage customer pools and or slippage balances in digital wallets to adjust digital currency transfers amounts in order to align them with the guaranteed exchange rate. So, to me, that's actually really interesting in a certain way, in the sense that this doesn't really sound like something new, but in a different end it actually does, because while they filed for a new patent, meaning they probably have some new solution to actually do this more properly. So it's a system that can provide a guaranteed exchange rate, right? I mean, to a certain degree, it doesn't sound really strange, really innovative, but I guess it is, because it might have been something that's not really there, or because it, together with that, can also manage customer pools and or slippage balances in digital wallets. Maybe it just has to do with the digital wallets and adjust digital currency transfer amounts part. But I actually do not know too much about how far they are already with all of this. Literally, it look like that I don't have too much knowledge as to what patents have already been made, because what you're seeing with, for example, MoneyGram or whatever, doesn't actually really show you what they've researched and what they've patented, right? Because what you're getting could have been patented 10 years ago, who knows, and only now been brought into your real day-to-day life. And what they patent today might only come into existence after 3 to 5 years, which is very often the way it works, because a patent doesn't mean all of a sudden they can just innovate everything. It just means they have this written down. Doesn't mean they'll actually act upon it, though. Despite the fact how on-demand liquidity works is actually well known, there are some surprises in the document. For example, the patent for the XRP-based payment solution states that the technology is not limited to banking institutions or currencies, but may rather be implemented for any exchange of value, e.g. commodities or other digital currencies and assets, bonds, stocks, securities, etc. Further, the document notes that ODL can be used not only by banks and financial institutions, but also by corps and government entities, likely covering use in the context of a digital central bank currency. In various implementations, this is going to quote, the originating institution and the destination institution can also comprise clients of the transaction service and can include cross-medium or cross-border transaction entities such as large financial institutions, multinational corporate entities, governmental entities, non-governmental organizations, and the like. Meanwhile, the basic concept of ODL described in Ripple Labs' patent holds no surprises. Twitter user XRPatians, who first discovered the patent approval, described the system very accurately with the following few words: accept request for fiat to fiat, look up exchange rate, convert to ODL, XRP, send XRP to destination, and convert destination fiat. So that's again how ODL, really how we all would describe it, actually works as well. The whole process is done in a couple of seconds, and in this case, Also, according to the patent now, ODL guarantees a fixed exchange rate by querying a variety of exchanges for rates before executing the transaction, taking into account current or predicted volatility. Minor differences in the guaranteed exchange rate can be compensated for with the help of clients' digital currency pools held on each of the participating exchanges. For the very large orders, the system can split the orders into smaller chunks and send each chunk to separate exchanges for conversion to ODL before sending all chunks to the final destination for conversion to the target fiat. Transactions can also be automatic or manual, with a fixed 10-minute period for a user to accept the exchange before the transaction expires and a new quote must be obtained. So I guess you have a 10-minute window to accept the exchange rate. That's kind of odd in a certain way because in a 10-minute interval, a lot can happen, right? So theoretically speaking, you can make a lot of money then by just arbitraging because you have like your fixed amount. Yeah, I guess. Or doesn't it matter? Because in a certain way, if the transaction were to take 4 seconds, why does it actually matter what the exchange rate is? Yeah, I guess it just matters if you, for example, want to take US dollar to euro, and you can get this exchange rate stuck for 10 minutes. If we get a huge dump or pump, then even though XRP is in the middle, if the euro has really pumped like crazy, then all of a sudden you've actually made money then, right? Because you had a cheaper euro than what you got it for afterwards, if it's USD to euro. That's interesting to me. Because 10 minutes is a pretty long time. I would have said maybe like 60 seconds at max, like 1 minute. ODL works on desktop computers, mobile devices, or smartphones, personal digital assistants, laptops, what? Oh, I thought it works on personal assistants. I was like, oh, that's interesting. You can put a Neuralink in your personal assistant and it can just work on him or her. That would be interesting. Laptops, tablet devices, virtual reality and or augmented reality devices. That's interesting too. Portable computing devices, television sets, IP television, etc. According to the patent, in addition, an ODL integrated device could work on custom hardware in vehicle devices or onboard computers, etc. too, which is again another very big part about it. In another sense, I mean, why do we really care? It's just if you want to transfer money from your car to somewhere else, or how does that really work in a certain sense? I mean, does that matter where it can work upon? I guess the phone is nice, but your car, I mean, does that mean that ODL in this sense, how they are kind of pitching it, is going to be something that we as individuals can use too then? Because who else is going to need it in their car then? Or does it just mean that it could run on such a thing? Meaning you don't have to have an interface on there, but it could just run through that computer. And you could just run it from there. But how does that work in the sense as well? I don't really fully understand. Because I'm thinking, if it's on your car monitor basically, then do you just press a couple of clicks and it'll just send your dollars, for example, from some different wallet through your car thing, your car computer, I guess, to somewhere else? I really don't get the good part about that, or I really don't get the system in the way that would work, or the virtual reality one, but I guess it's just what it can run upon, right? Maybe what the capabilities of it are, that it's kind of a light program, if it's even considered a complete program. It's interesting to me how exactly we would have to classify that. But again, if you have a better classification for it, just put it down below. I would just like to see it's the intermediary of everything. It's just basically the whole bridge system. But is it just one program? Because I would kind of describe it more as a system of handles. Yeah, I guess it's a program because it has a couple of actions in a row. And you just, How do you actually run this as well? Is it like on a website, or do you have to do it through Ripple? Like, do you have to just file with Ripple and then they'll do this for you? Or does it have a certain interface as well, like we see with all the swells where, ODL is done to that? Or is there going to be an app? Or does it mean that it's going to be an app somewhere? But then if there's an app, again, I'm just kind of having questions here that I have not answered for myself. And if this is public knowledge, just let me know. But I think a lot of you guys must be having the questions too. And I'll try to find some answers and tell you guys in a couple of hours or a couple of days here if I got them. Because I'm thinking, in the swells, which is basically Ripple's yearly conferences, they have a couple of examples of interfaces for certain transactions. But again, I'm thinking in the back of my head now, that is in their headquarters, basically. That is in their their domain. That's what they have built specifically for those events. I'm sometimes thinking, if it's an app, right, that you can use, then where's the money going to come from? Do you have to send the money, for example, from your bank account through there? Or, this is again talking about P2P only, right? Not if you were to be working with, for example, a MoneyGram who's facilitating everything. I'm just thinking about what if it were to be P2P, or actually what this whole last part refers to as to where it can work upon. In the first section here, a little bit earlier, they actually said it could work for these types of guys, but I guess it would have to be installed all the way, and you just know then exactly how everything works. But I just don't know why it's interesting to know that it works on all these things. Why did they tell us that? Because, I mean, if it's them installing it anyway, then, yeah, it's head scratching here a little bit. Because it doesn't says P2P anywhere here. It just says large financial institutions, multinational, corporate entities, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so that's just my thought process there. Let me know if you actually like the thought process or only factuals, and I'll kind of stick to it. Cointelegraph here posted an article. American e-commerce giant Amazon is apparently looking to move into crypto shopping with an initial rollout in Mexico. We've actually talked about it before, right? We saw that that Tesla was... yeah, there's a good chance they're going to be working on a payment system for crypto. Amazon here has a job posting hint at digital payment project to launch in Mexico too. Amazon is not going to be left behind. Same for Apple. They're going to be looking for it. And then Twitter considers Bitcoin payments for employees, says CFO. We already talked about that briefly. Ethereum overtaken by Binance Smart Chain in terms of daily transactions. That is interesting. I think a lot of it is fake, but that's my thing. It could also be because Ethereum is just ridiculously expensive to send things upon. CZ said, today is an important day. Binance Smart Chain flipped Ethereum on daily transactions. This validates the logic that low fees attract more users and projects. We will continue to work with the BSC community to promote low fees, even as BNB rises and build more. Yeah, and in a different sense, it is pretty beautiful, because you can kind of think about it in a way that Ethereum is just really crowded right now, and people are finally starting to kind of pick their own freaking sense instead of just going with what the most amount of people are doing, and go for something which is a lot cheaper, like TRX, or in this case, the Binance Smart Chain. Ripple price analysis. XRP moves above 51 cents as bulls target new uptrend. Yeah, we got above 50 cents, all right. I think we were at 51 as we speak right now, looking pretty damn juicy. I'm thinking about buying more, but I just cannot do it, guys. I just cannot. I cannot. I'm thinking, what altcoin should I buy? What should I buy? More Bitcoin? What should I buy? Because I got some money again, and I'm thinking, where should I put more money into? A lot of you guys will always say XRP, but I got my XRP bags already. So the only thing I can do is try to get my average price up and buy even more XRP. But I always like to buy XP below 50 cents, so buying it now feels like a little bit of an expensive thing. So I'm thinking about buying some other altcoins, but which ones? If you have any recommendations, just put it down below, all right? Even if it's a higher number, I might just buy it anyway, just because I want to diversify even more and buy a couple of coins that I might not even know too much about. On that same note, you guys also know about GSX, right? I said I personally bought a couple $1,000s worth of this purely because I want to try it out. I'm hoping for like a times 10, 25, 50, whatever, in a really short amount of time. And that's again the thing you sometimes hope for with these projects, that they just go crazy. It is the first growth coin. Pretty interesting concept. Right now it's just 10 cents a coin, plus a 50% bonus, plus a 5% bonus for using the link. And that's because we're really early into all of this. But again, in a couple of weeks, what if it just goes crazy because of some demand, or once it hits exchanges? What if? And that's what we go for, stuff like that. And native tokens on Cardano. I'm going to leave that for another day. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you press the like button and subscribe. And we're breaking some records just now, I think, in terms of market cap as well. Things are moving splendidly, and I'm still waiting for Bitcoin to hit 50,000 as it's really around the corner. Same thing for Ethereum hitting $2,000. It's really around the corner. ADA $1. XRP, pretty hard to say because of the lawsuit pushing them back. Polkadot, $30 around the corner, and so forth and so on. These coins are going amazing, and hopefully you guys are all well diversified, because then this is all juicy.